I regret not being able to speak at the virtual ACI board meeting on April the 2nd. I would like to thank all the members of ACI and the ACI staff for the opportunity it has given me to serve the Institute. It has been humbling, challenging, rewarding, and also a privilege. All of this at the same time. This journey all started on June 7, 2013. I was at Texas State University in San Marcos, Texas, at a CIM National Steering Committee meeting when I received a phone call from Ron Berg telling me that the nominating committee had selected me to be ACI's next second vice president. This was just the first of many conversations between Ron Berg and myself since that time. I stood at the podium at the opening session in Milwaukee on April 17, 2016, and gave my opening address. I stated that one of my goals was to be an effective servant leader. And as an Eagle Scout, I raised my hand in the Scout sign, and I said to you, on my honor, I will do my best to represent you and the Institute. Only you and the other members of the Institute can judge how successful I have been at this. I have had the privilege and honor to represent ACI across the globe. In every place I visited, I found that ACI was held in high regard and very well respected. I represented you in Colombia on 2 occasions, Bogota for a meeting with Argos, and in Cartagena for Asocredo. And I would like to thank Luis Garcia for his generous hospitality. In Hanoi, Vietnam, I attended the Asian Concrete Federation Conference. I was in Madrid, Spain, for the International Conference on Sustainability. In Germany, met with a German framework collaborative known as GSB. In the Philippines, visited the local ACI chapter. In Italy, my wife Barbara and I were the guest of the Italian ACI chapter and had the opportunity to visit the Palazzo Italia, which was the overall winner of ACI's 2016 Excellence in Concrete Construction Awards. Visited Toronto and Montreal, Canada, where I represented ACI at the 50-year celebrations of both of these outstanding chapters. In Australia, I was in Adelaide for Concrete 2017, and then in Sydney for Concrete 2019. I also was fortunate to have the opportunity to visit approximately 25 ACI chapters in the United States. To the incoming board members, I would like to offer my congratulations and challenge each of you to think strategically as you guide this esteemed organization into the future. Your 3 years will be up before you know it, and please use your time wisely, productively, and to remember to think globally, not provincially. Please never lose sight of our mission. ACI develops, disseminates, and advances the adoption of its consensus-based knowledge on concrete and its uses. I'm currently the chair of the ACI Foundation, and I would like to thank the board for its 5-year commitment to the foundation from the ACI spend policy. These funds have allowed us to increase the number of grants funded by the Concrete Research Council, to increase the number of fellowships and scholarships awarded by the Scholarship Council, and to further the work of the Strategic Development Council. Because of this board's strategic vision and commitment, the foundation is able to continue to make strategic investments in research, scholarship, and ideas. I would like to thank and comment on the professionalism and enthusiasm of the ACI staff. Their dedication and hard work make the work of the board and executive committee much easier. John Grum and the department directors were always very responsive to my request. And Bob Dare, thank you very much for your insights, suggestions, and guidance. I'm sure that all of the past presidents here today will attest to your professionalism. I would also like to thank the members of the executive committee with whom I had the privilege to serve. Ann Ellis, Bill Rushing, Sharon Wood, Coletta Watt, David Lang, and Randy Poston. Each of them have unselfishly served the Institute and have helped make me a better person by virtue of having worked with them. Randy, thank you for your very successful year as president. Jeff, congratulations, and I look forward to supporting you this coming year. Thank you also for your support of the ACI Foundation. And for those that do not know, Jeff is also an Eagle Scout. Kerry, I look forward to your insight as we try to get the concept of constructability better understood and accepted by the design community. And we work on training our players, which in our case is our concrete craftsmen, not just the referees. Charles, congratulations on being selected as the next ACI second vice president. The next 2 years will be an apprenticeship, and it will prepare you for your time as ACI president. I speak from personal experience. And Ron Berg, thank you for all your advice, wisdom, and often stimulating conversations that challenge me, but most of all, for our friendship. I would also like to thank everyone here for making my wife Barbara feel welcome at all of the conventions. And finally, I would like to thank Dan Baker, my boss, mentor, and friend, for giving me the opportunity to work for him at Baker Concrete for the past 42 years, and the privilege of serving ACI. As most of you are aware, part of my day job at Baker Concrete is being responsible for safety of the organization. We are responsible for creating a culture that sends each and every one of our coworkers home each day and then safely back to their workstation the following day. The foundation of this culture is everyone looking out for each other. We call it being our brother's keeper. I would like to challenge each of us at ACI to do a better job of making safety part of what we do. What if none of our publications had pictures of unsafe conditions and improper PPE? What if safety was addressed in our codes and guides? What if each of our meetings started with a safety moment? What if each of us had the managerial courage to speak up when we see something that is unsafe? What if each of us wore complete PPE when we visit a job site? Not just a hard hat, but also gloves, safety glasses, work boots, hearing and fall protection when necessary. Each of us doing this make a difference in our industry? I think it probably would. I would like to close with a poem written by a craft worker named Don Merrill, entitled, "I Chose to Look the Other Way." I could have saved her life that day, but I chose to look the other way. It wasn't that I didn't care. I had the time, and I was there. But I didn't want to seem a fool or argue over a safety rule. I knew he'd done the job before. If I called it wrong, he might get sore. The chances didn't seem that bad. I'd done the same he knew I had. So I shook my head and I walked on by. He knew the risk as well as I. He took the chance and I closed an eye. And with that act, I let him die. I could have saved her life that day, but I chose to look the other way. And now every time I see his wife, I'll know I should have saved his life. That guilt is something I must bear, but it isn't something that you need to share. If you see a risk that others take that puts their health or life at stake, the question asked or thing you say could help them live another day. If you see a risk and walk away, then hope you never have to say, "I could have saved a life that day, but I chose to look the other way." Thank you to each of you for the opportunity to serve ACI, and best wishes to each of you on your personal safety journey. Thank you very much.